In 2021, I think it was December,
Yes.
coming to first new year, I got really sick,
Yeah.
and I never believed that actually COVID was there. That guy, I wouldn't even believe he would have COVID. I was like, really, are you sure?
Yes.
And then they said, yeah. Then I was pregnant. They said, oh, you can't come in. I was like, hallelujah. At least maybe 70. And they were low. And I remember doctors coming around, like 6 of them, trying to tell me to lie opposite side, lie on your stomach, lie on your side. We see if your oxygen could come up. Nothing worked.
Yeah. All right, a very, very lovely day, everyone who's watching us right about now. Thank you so much for tuning in to Jackie. That's the Power of Grace YouTube channel. We want to pass a vote of thanks to everyone who subscribed on our YouTube channel last year. And of course, I'm taking this minute to also call upon everyone who's watching us right now. If you've not subscribed to our YouTube channel, you've not turned on that notification button, please do to catch up with our new many episodes that are coming up. Of course, the first episode we did the Kinyarwanda version, and due to requests from many people who have requested us to produce an English version, and of course the Luganda version. Yeah, we had the plea, and today we decide to throw you an English version. Jackie, you're most welcome.
Thank you, Ronnie.
Yeah, happy New Year.
Oh, same to you. Thank you.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's Jackie Kamzinzi, and of course, officially welcome to the Power of Grace TV, or the Power of Grace show. These episodes run on that official YouTube channel. So, due to Kubusabe bench, a lot of people have been requesting, Jackie, please do the English version. We didn't understand the Kinyarwanda one, but of course, a big vote of thanks to everyone who subscribed through the Kinyarwanda version, everyone who understood the Kinyarwanda version. Of course, I'm talking about our Rwandan nation, the Rwandan family. Thank you so much. This one directly goes to my friend, to Jackie's friends in the UK, in Uganda, and all around the world, the people that speak English. So Jackie, maybe after that brief introduction or greeting to the people, to your viewers, your fans, to your family and relatives, let us take us directly to your story, because the Kinyarwanda one we shared, but of course someone who understands English would want or would wish to know this thing of COVID-19. As we stated a long time ago, there are a lot of people who think COVID-19 is a hoax. COVID-19 doesn't exist, even up to now. Actually, in Uganda, I've had a lot of stories like Batulimba. They are lying to us. They think it's not real. So, yeah, tell us about your story. Who's Jackie and where do you reside?
I do reside in the UK.
Yes.
And about my story, yeah? I know, as you've just said, a lot of people really think that COVID is a hoax. And then, by then in 2021, I actually used to think it is a hoax.
Yes.
So I don't blame them, but it's high time that we take it as serious as possible.
Yeah.
Because it's really serious. And the little time I've stayed in Rwanda, I've seen how serious it is. So I'll go back to my story.
Yes.
As in 2021, I think it was December,
Yes.
coming to first new year, I got really sick.
Yeah.
And I never believed that actually COVID was there.
Yeah.
I also thought it was a hoax, and by then you hear different stories on the radio,
Yes.
on TV stations,
Yes.
people talking, and you're like, is this real?
Yeah.
Is it true? Does it exist? And some people say you just have it and you just go through your system and comes out.
Yeah.
And some people say drink water.
Yes.
You go through your system and comes out. And
Yeah.
you're like, okay. So you didn't know exactly what to take.
Yes.
whether it's real, but when you read the news or watched on TV, it said different things.
Yeah.
Radio stations say different things. So it was hard for us to accept that really COVID is there until you're caught in it. Then
Yeah.
you believe that, oh, actually it's not a hoax.
Yeah.
It is COVID and it's around for longer.
Yeah, that was we were venturing into 2021.
Yeah,
That's when you got sick.
that's when I got sick.
So before you got sick, what were you doing? Like, were you doing your job as a normal, all other people going
Yeah,
to
I
work,
was
waking up, coming
working.
back? Yes.
As normal, but I remember because we had a lockdown, a first lockdown, like maybe in May. It was like really serious.
That is in which country?
UK.
Okay.
So they were like lockdown everywhere and it got serious.
Yeah.
And people were dying. But, you know, the news tells you different things. The numbers are going high.
Yeah.
The radio stations are talking about different things. And you're like,
What's going on?
what is going on?
Yeah.
And now the African community thinks this is really a hoax. Like
Yes.
this thing doesn't exist. And I was one of them. I'd think, oh, I don't think it's going to come to me.
Yes.
I'm going to wait and wait and wait until everybody else gets the vaccine, as long as they don't force you to do it.
Yes.
So, but I didn't wait longer because I really got sick.
Okay.
It got me, I used to go to work. Even though there was a lockdown at my place of work, we didn't lock down.
Yeah. You're open.
So we're open. So I used to go to work. And that's where I got it from.
Yeah.
Because some of my colleagues got it.
Yeah.
And they didn't tell me. By then, I remember they called me and said, oh, someone got sick you worked with last night. And I said, what? What? That guy, I wouldn't even believe he would have COVID. I was like, really? Are you sure?
Yes.
And then they said, yeah, because I was vulnerable. Then I was pregnant. They said, oh, you can't come in. I was like, hallelujah.
Yes.
That is really good. I'm not going to go to work.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought.
Yeah.
So I stayed home. But meanwhile, I also got sick. I got like cold. And that's what they used to say, oh, COVID catches. It's like cold. You just get a little bit of cold and you get better.
Yes.
All right, then. I got that cold. I said I'm going to get some painkillers and cough and fever stuff.
Yeah.
But then I didn't even take it serious.
Yeah.
I thought I'd be fine. But as days go, I became more ill.
Okay.
I couldn't breathe properly, and I just thought, oh, I have sinuses. I'll be okay. But it got worse.
Yeah. So, in the eve of your friend getting sick, the one you were working on the same shift got sick of COVID-19, and then they told you your friend got sick, so you can't come in. Number two, you're also pregnant, so we can't expose you to
The COVID.
to the virus.
Yeah, and then
So you kept home from then.
from then,
How long? When did you realize? Now you. When did you feel like maybe I got this thing. I got
like day
the virus.
5 or 4,
At staying home.
staying home.
Yeah.
And I was really drinking like ginger.
Lemon. Okay.
Sorry, I was drinking all that.
Yeah.
And after day 4 or 5, I remember, got worse. I couldn't breathe, so I told my partner, I think I need to go to the hospital.
Yes.
Because I'm not that person who got to the hospital easily.
Yes.
And the one thing they used to tell us, when you go to the hospital, you're going to die anyway. You're not going to come back.
Yes.
And I was like, I'm going to treat myself at home.
Yeah.
Then when it gets worse, then I'll go to the hospital.
I'll go to the hospital.
Then day 5, I said, okay, I think we need to test because we have kids at home
Yeah.
testing. So we tested and I posted negative.
Yes.
So I didn't have COVID.
Yeah. After doing a self-test at home,
Yeah.
you tested negative.
Yeah, that told me now you should go to the hospital. You might be having some other difficulties.
Of course,
breathing.
now testing yourself comes after you feel sick. After
So
falling
I
sick at home.
Yeah, I realized actually that these testing kits, they only do test with our temperature.
Yes.
Since you've had medication and your temperature has gone down,
Yeah.
it's going to test negative anyway. But when
Okay.
you got the hospital and they test you, I mean, they take the blood test and everything,
Yeah.
they'll find out whether you're really ill or you're not.
Yes.
And as for many, I think that's where we go wrong. We keep testing with those small kids
at home.
at home,
Yeah.
and then you say, "Oh, I'm okay," and then it gets
But
worse and worse.
deep inside, you're dying
You're dying.
slowly. So yes, So we see you getting sick home and doing a home test,
Yeah.
and you're okay.
Yeah.
But deep inside, you feel I'm
Ew.
sick.
Yeah, I'm still sick.
So I have to go to the hospital, maybe to test for a different thing, which is
Yeah.
not COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where I say it was God's grace. I mean,
Yes.
that thing that tells you you still need to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Even though you've tested negative
Negative.
about COVID, but you have to go to the hospital.
Yes.
And we went to the hospital. It was a long waiting, but we waited.
Yeah.
After waiting, and they checked everything, and they said, "Oh, you have COVID." But the worst of all, my oxygen was like dropping,
Yeah.
and all the doctors were panicking, and it was, everyone didn't know how to treat the virus.
Yes.
They just had to work around the clock to find out.
To just treat something that they don't know how to treat, but to just maybe maintain our life. Yeah.
Someone's life.
Yeah.
And they checked, and they said, "Okay, you have COVID, you're pregnant, you're at high risk, we don't know what to do." And I said, "Okay, I have COVID." It just did take a while to sink in.
It's real. I have COVID.
I have COVID,
Now,
real.
from home, you got into the hospital. They've taken the blood samples. Now they have told you got COVID-19.
Yeah.
And you're also pregnant.
Which
You are in a high risk of
dying.
death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They won't say it that way, but, they'll be polite.
Yes.
Not to scare you.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. It really took me a long time to say, all right, really, I have COVID. I still didn't believe it.
Yes.
I thought, all right, I have COVID. But COVID? How can I have COVID?
Yes.
I tested, but those tests don't work. Most of the time, I figured out that most people, still use those small tests, and they say, "Oh, we are negative," and yet someone still feels sick.
Yes.
And then when you reach at the hospital, they check you, and then they say,
Yeah,
"Oh, actually, you're
positive.
sick."
Yeah.
So they told me, now, you have to write a consent letter to your partner because we're going to take you for operation, and it was so fast. And I said, okay, so fast, okay. I did write the consent letter, and they gave it to my partner, and before I knew, I was in the theater.
So the consent letter you're writing is a consent letter is giving authority
To the father of the
to
child.
the father of the child to operate you.
Yeah.
And of course, that is giving you a 50% life and 50% death. You don't
Yeah.
know if whatever comes out of the theater.
Not with you not having oxygen. Definitely, they're like, let's save
The life of the baby.
and then if we can save yours, that will
All
be
and well.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my God. Okay. So after writing the consent letter, direct to the theater.
Yeah, direct to the theater. They operated me, and it came out well. I was struggling. I had the mask of the oxygen on while they were operating, and we finished well. And then after that, my oxygen levels just dropped. Like maybe I was on machine, at least maybe 70, and they were low. And I remember doctors coming around, like 6 of them, trying to tell me to lie opposite side, lie on your stomach, lie on your side. We see if your oxygen could come up. Nothing worked.
Yeah.
Nothing worked. And at that moment, I said, okay, this is worse than I thought.
Yes.
So this is the COVID that we've been talking about, and we're not even taking it serious.
Yeah.
And so they said, okay, this is not working at all. We need to transfer you, because the machine they needed me to go on, which is a life support machine,
Yeah.
it's called the ECMO. wasn't there in that hospital. So they had to call another hospital.
Another hospital. All right. Maybe before now we shift to another hospital. How old was the pregnancy before they operated you?
It was I think it was 6 months, 6 weeks earlier, which is maybe 8 months.
8 months.
Something, or 7 something.
7, yes.
So yeah.
Oh, so
the baby was premature.
Okay. So after the operation, where did they take the baby?
They had to take the baby to the neonatal, where the premature babies go after.
Okay.
So I saw the baby for like an hour or two.
And then they took away your baby?
Yeah. Not even an hour, I think few minutes. Yeah, few minutes.
Yeah.
Like 30 minutes, I got to hold her.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And then we see oxygen. You're telling us oxygen levels now had to go really, really down.
Yeah.
And there's a call now to go to another better hospital.
Yeah.
Than the one you've been operated in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course, the one I was in was not my main hospital. Was like I had just moved to that area.
Yeah.
So there was a hospital, so I just went there. But my main hospital is where I used to live, and I kept registered there. So
Okay.
they called the hospital, which is the biggest. It's not the biggest, but yeah, it's known.
Yeah.
So they called that hospital and they said, we have your patient here,
Yeah.
and we don't have the ECMO machine.
Yeah.
What do we do? They checked. Because I was there like the Friday before.
Yeah.
For just checkup.
Yeah.
And they looked into, they said, but Jackie was here. Oh, okay. And it's just quick.
Yes.
They said, okay, we'll see if we can get a bed. By then, the hospitals were packed.
Yes.
Packed, as in packed, everyone was ill.
Yeah.
So like in an hour, they said, oh, we got her a bed.
Yeah.
But to be honest, after that 1 hour, I don't know what happened after.
Yes.
By the time they transferred me
They transferred you from the other hospital to the main one.
Yeah. I can't tell.
At that time,
'cause,
you don't know what's happening on the face of the earth.
yeah, I was dead. By then, by the time they called to transfer me,
Yeah.
I was gone.
So, this is crazy. So after the transfer, they take you to a new main hospital.
Yeah, it's-
where you have your insurance registered.
Yeah.
Then what happens there? Maybe after you coming back to your senses.
They take me and I spent 50 days. 50 days in coma.
So, Jackie, first wait. From the time of transfer from the other hospital where you were operated, you took 50 days. You blacked out completely,
Yeah.
and it took you 50 days to come back to life.
Yeah.
Some of these things we just hear people talk about them, like 50 days in coma. But what does it mean being in coma 50 days?
It means...
What is that
it means-
experience?
It means the grace of God to bring you back.
Yes.
It means the people to work around the clock. It means the family to call your name because God hears.
Yeah.
That vision where they say that when you call, I will hear you.
Yeah.
The people called. My family called. My friends called. The doctors worked.
Yes.
That's why I always say that the doctors work as God's ambassadors.
Yes.
When they don't give up on you, you won't die.
Yeah.
Yes, sometimes people die, but that's their time. But I can tell you that to go for 50 days
In a
without you
coma.
knowing,
Yes.
it brings back the mercy of God and how miracles still happen. And I always say arrogantly that I don't care who wants to believe or not,
Yes.
that God still works in his mysterious ways.
Yeah.
But God worked on me.
Yes.
The kindness I saw, the grace I saw, the mercy I saw, who am I?
Yeah.
I am just a nobody. I'm just a child of God.
Yeah. Given the fact that thousands and thousands of people died. Others didn't even go into a coma for 10 days.
No.
Others died on spot, but God preserved you for 50 days in coma. during that time, by the time you shifted, you had your oxygen levels drop rapidly, and that's when you blacked out. How did you maintain the breathing? I can see you have a scar.
I had
on
a
your throat.
scar from the ECMO, because this ECMO goes through your system to support your lungs
Yeah,
and your heart.
yeah,
You know, it's a life support.
Yeah.
So I stayed on that ECMO. I couldn't talk. I remember by the time I came back from coma, my voice had gone. You know, they can't explain to you that your voice is going to go
Yeah.
or this, because you're dead.
yes.
You know, you're dead.
Yeah.
And you come back by God's grace, and you find you're just lying dead, but alive.
Yes.
And I came back and I couldn't speak, and I was using sign, and I didn't know how my voice went, how I reached there,
Yeah.
but I remember they had brought pictures of my family to
Yes.
see if I could
Try to remember them.
my memory would come back.
Yes.
Because they said that the longer you stay on that machine, the more it could damage your brain.
Yes.
And I wasn't damaged. How good is that?
Amazing.
And I always said God is great, and God is good all the time, because He's good.
Yeah, Jackie, when you look at your life, when you see your life, and when you imagine the things that you went through, the 50 days of coma, the giving, operating you to remove the unborn, the premature baby from your womb, and all that, where do you think credit goes?
Credit goes to the most highest, powerful Father in heaven. And to the doctors. But I am telling you, if I did not, and I still stand on it with my two legs, if I did not have those people that prayed for me
Yes.
and cried and called my name,
You will not be here right now.
I would not survive. I had people know that I didn't even know, that called my name,
Yeah.
that cried, that would just hear, oh, Jackie got sick. And when I woke up, I would hear stories, and I was like, I remember I would just cry.
Yeah.
Yeah? Burst and cry. And I thought, why? Why is it me? Where did I get this grace? Why did the grace follow me?
Yeah.
Why did the mercy of God follow me? Why? You know? And you know, you ask yourself many things, and you come to the conclusion, and you're like, there's a reason.
Yeah.
There's a reason why God preserved you for something.
Yes.
There's a reason that you're going to be the kindest, the most understanding. Because, I mean, people died.
Yeah, I know.
And died, and people lost their loved ones, and they never got to bury them.
Yeah.
And it is sadness, full of sadness. The world is almost full of sadness.
Yeah.
And no one has, you know, some people didn't get to say sorry. How are you feeling?
Yeah, sure.
How did it affect you?
Yeah.
Do you need a hug? Do you need a cry? You know?
Yeah, that last moment with your loved ones, everyone would wish to be around their mothers, everyone would wish to be around their dads passing on. Everyone would really love to be near that relative going, and you're never going to see them again. But because of COVID, people were not able to access them. Yeah, so maybe in the 50 days of coma and all that, you just saw your kid just an hour before you went for your for some good months into coma.
Yeah.
You can when you came back, how long did it take your kid in the machines, and who took the kid later? Is it her dad?
Yeah. She didn't stay long because she was healthy.
Yes.
So I think she stayed there like for a few weeks.
And Dad picked up the baby.
And Dad picked her up, and they stayed together.
Yeah.
I actually saw them like after 4 months.
Are you serious?
I went home in April. So that's when I saw. I used to see her at the hospital on the video calls.
Yes.
You know, but I couldn't talk. I had the ECMO machine.
Yeah.
I'd just wave and, you know, smile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, briefly, as we get to the end, I want us to look at now, 50 days after coma, now you came back to life. They put pictures for the people that you know to try to bring back your memory to see if you know them or you don't remember them. Yeah, that experience after coma.
That experience.
Life after death.
Life after death actually teaches you a lot.
Yes.
It teaches you how to, like, try to be a better person now. Like,
it's like God has given me a second chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you forgive easily. I mean, you're like, who am I?
Yeah.
Why did God preserve me? That's life after coma, because you now start thinking really fast.
Yes.
And you don't want God to take away your life.
Yeah.
And you've wasted it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've gotten a second chance. You've gotten now your child to see, because you didn't even know you were going to see her anyway.
Yeah.
That was the last time. I thought I'll never come back.
Yeah.
I would think I would never see my family again back in Rwanda.
Yeah.
They probably would never even bury me. That's how bad it was going to be.
Yeah.
And it's so sad. I remember I had a story the other day, like a daughter died and the mother couldn't bury the family because they were away abroad.
Yeah.
And I sat myself and reflected and I said, God, how are they feeling? God, when are they going to believe that their daughter died? Because they didn't get to bury her, they didn't get to
nurse her maybe at the hospital. Yeah.
And how are they feeling? It just came to me and I was like, you know, that heavy heart burden. And I thought, how is the mother going to cope with it?
Yeah.
I mean, there are so many people like those ones.
Yeah.
How are they coping with it?
Yeah.
Because, you know, for me, it was a nightmare, the fact thinking that I had to start walking afresh, learn how to walk, learn how to sit, learn.
So after 50 days of not walking, of not talking, of not thinking,
of being a baby, like you're wearing a diaper.
You have to do the baby steps again.
Yeah,
from
learn
zero.
how to do things, and that takes you back. You even go through depression because you're not that person you used to be.
Yes.
So it takes much courage, and it takes much faith to know that God brought me back for a reason. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to try harder. I am going to encourage those ones who've gone through the same things as me,
yes,
who've lost people, because I would be in the same boat.
Yeah. Jackie, as we get to the end, yeah. Do you think this situation that you went through, getting COVID-19, your baby, 50 days of coma, then coming back and you have to take first baby steps in everything, do you think God wanted you to learn something? Was there anything that God was teaching you, or any lesson?
I don't know. I couldn't say there is something, but yeah, in me something changed.
Yes.
In me, I became a brand new me. I became that person who won't judge anyone easily.